Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hive Mind, a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. You know, we kept hearing, and really we continue hearing, all these DNC shills and leftoids online harping about how so many Trump supporters regret their vote. It's just a chain of regret. We thought we were voting for Trump, but instead we got Elon Musk fascism. That's essentially been the bullshit narrative, but it's just another bogus narrative that probably would have gained traction in like the 2008 era, where they had total control over social media algorithms, and of course people were still watching legacy news before the conversation moved online basically. But nowadays, I don't think too many people are buying it. It's nothing but left-wing cope. They're essentially deluding themselves into this alternative reality where Trump is so deeply unpopular and the left is already headed towards a redemption arc. I can't not laugh while saying that, but this narrative that they're building only exists in their little echo chambers. It's a fantasy, the idea that buyer's remorse is settling in, and in reality, the exact opposite is happening. People are flocking to Trump like never before. And I know I've said that before, so you might be thinking I'm just repeating the old story, but no, it continues to happen. The trend is accelerating, which justifies my repetition. Donald Trump is proving himself as an effective leader right now, and he is now winning bigly with classical liberals. The same people who voted for Clinton, Obama, and honestly a lot of them who got hoodwinked into voting for Joe Biden, the more centrist economic-leaning corporate Democrats and independents, they've been looking for action, results, leadership, and now they're getting exactly that with Donald Trump, and it's waking up people like we've never seen. And that reality was just made public by Frank Luntz during this segment on CNN. Let me show you guys exactly what happened. We got some stuff to get into, so let's roll the tape. All right, folks, so I pretty much laid out the groundwork. Take a look.
You do a lot of focus groups. You really get behind the numbers, the poll numbers, to the sentiments of voters. And it's so interesting. You've been speaking with a number of voters who were Hillary Clinton 2016, Joe Biden 2020, and then went for Trump in 2024. How are these folks seeing the early days of Trump's second term?
Pretty well.
Really?
And they're reacting to it because they love the pace of change. They were very fed up over the last 4 years. They wanted action. They wanted results. They looked at prices. They looked at affordability, looked at immigration, and they didn't see anything happening. They still don't like what he says, but they like what he does. And these are Democrats now who felt that they were not securing the border. They were doing nothing to prevent illegal immigration, that nothing was actually happening. They wanted to see a reduction in wasteful Washington spending, and they're seeing that. So what they tell me is, I wish he would be a little bit less rude. But at the same time, they like what he's doing. They believe he's serious about it. And for the first time, they have confidence in the future, which is why you now see some significant shifts in the polling about the expectations for the direction in the coming years.
It's a big wake-up call for Democrats.
I'm waiting for them to get a message. I'm waiting for them to unify and to understand that to oppose and to be the resistance, which is what some of them use that phrase. That's not what Democrats in grassroots areas want from them. They may not want the approach that Trump is doing, President Trump. By the way, I now know to say President Trump, but they do want action, and they don't see action from the Democrats.
Political consultant and pollster Frank Luntz basically just confirmed everything that I've been reporting on for the last however many years. And look, I've given Kevin McCarthy's little boyfriend here, Frank Luntz, a hard time over the years. I disagree with his politics, but like I always say in these videos, he does a great job with these focus groups, and he's always been fair with these focus groups. And I'll reluctantly say it, he tends to be pretty accurate at putting his finger on the pulse of where political trends are moving, especially with independent voters. And I think most people know this. And so this focus group that he just conducted, this is big. And in this focus group, he's not talking about MAGA diehards. These are former Democrats. And they're sticking with Trump because they're finally getting a taste of what real leadership looks like. I think people are fed up with the stagnation, the excuses, the gaslighting, basically everything we saw during Joe Biden's 4 years and even 8 years of Barack Obama. A whole lot of talk, a whole lot of bluster. We're going to do all these things and reform the country. Joe Biden was supposed to be the most progressive president since FDR, remember that? Barack Obama was supposed to deliver big reform and change, but they got nothing. Instead, they got stagnation. And in Joe Biden's case, crisis after crisis. And like I stated earlier, the response from the Democrats was what? It certainly wasn't acknowledging reality. And especially the realities that Americans were facing, it was nothing but excuses, obfuscation, distraction, and most importantly, gaslighting. The Biden administration ushered in an era of crippling inflation, and the entire time, Joe Biden looked the American people in the face along with all these other Democrats and kept telling them, actually, things are going great and this is the strongest economy ever. Complete insanity. And I think that woke people up like never before. You know, that's the silver lining of it all. Like I've always said, the Biden administration sucked. There were very few pros and a whole lot of cons, like serious cons, that deeply affected people and set families and individuals back big time. So I certainly don't want to downplay the Biden administration's failures, but in a way, it was kind of a bad that served for a good. Because I think Joe Biden's leadership, or lack thereof, woke people up like never before. It served as a catalyst that I think led to this incredible start for Donald Trump's second term. And you know, it might even go further than that. It might have launched us into a true, brand new golden era, a golden age of modern conservatism. I think Joe Biden's failed 4 years, and just the woke overtake of the Democrat Party and all of the failures that surrounded it, and especially all the extreme policy positions, I think in a way it set the Democrat Party on a destructive path that will be very difficult to come back from.
I've got a lot of friends who are Democrats, and they haven't asked me for advice, but if I did, I'd tell them, look, you just got to try harder not to suck. Think about it. Over the past 4 years, the Democrats mismanaged Congress, they mismanaged COVID, they mismanaged the economy, they mismanaged inflation, they mismanaged the national debt, they mismanaged Afghanistan. More recently, in their opposition to President Trump and Mr. Musk, the Democrats have chosen to support the bureaucrats and the spending porn over the American taxpayer, just like they support illegal immigration over the rule of law, just like they support transgender athletes over women's sports, just like they support Hamas terrorists over Israel. All Democrats are not like this, but the party is controlled right now by people who majored in online activism with a minor in puberty block. I know these people. They think women, they think men can breastfeed. They're triggered by race. They cry if you use the wrong pronoun. And most fair-minded Americans look at this and they go, these people are about 10 exits past normal. And that's what's killing the Democrats right now.
People woke up to the lunacy, and so the Democrat Party might not recover for a while. I think the 2026 midterms are going to tell us everything that we need to know. That's really going to tell us what's actually happening here. Because generally a president will get 24 months of a mandate once fresh elected, and Donald Trump truly is fresh elected. I honestly don't view this as a traditional incumbent term. This is a fresh presidency, and usually the first midterm, you're likely to see the honeymoon era sort of fading, and then the opposing party gaining some traction, building up counter narratives and offering a different message, and then seeing possible regression in the House and in the Senate. But for some reason, I feel like going into 2026, we might see the exact opposite. We might see Republicans gain, or at least maintain, and so Trump might have a 4-year mandate. Now, of course, that's pure speculation, and a lot can change over the next 2 years, but it's just a feeling that I have based on what we're seeing. You know, seemingly, Trump is getting more and more popular as the days go by. His approval rating continues to spike upwards. Democrat favorability is in the gutter and continues to go lower and lower, and it's probably much lower than what these push polls are suggesting. And those middle ground voters, those classical liberals, the same people who voted for Clinton, the same people who voted for Obama, it seems like they've finally woken up and they're moving to the right. They're seeing that this new brand of conservatism isn't the same as the neoconservatism of the past, and to keep it in the most casual terms possible, they're vibing with it. And not to mention how young people are trending rightward as well, as the demographics continue to shift. Like I said earlier, we might be headed towards a brand new conservative era. Will it last forever? Absolutely not. But I think the Democrats right now are like a wounded dog, and we're in the middle of a race and they simply just can't keep up. Anyways, that's pretty much what I got for you guys on this one. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to leave a like and possibly subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.